At $5, these are really beastly little things. But, before you rush out to buy them, let me tell you why you should think twice before you do.
I would like to ask you to describe your profession. I'm an artist.
The reason why you are probably looking at this video is the awesome price point at which these in-ear headphones from Panasonic are placed right now, and the very high ratings that they are getting all over the place. These are RP-HJE125 and they are part of the Ergofit line of audio products from Panasonic. If I were to give it to you straight, these are cheap and nothing will change it. I mean, they sound really good, but if you are looking for a product that would look nicely with the rest of your outfit, and there are products that do that, then maybe these are not just what you are looking for. Sure, they come in a variety of nice, vibrant, energetic colors, but at the end of the day they look flimsy and are bottom line cheap. The packaging that you receive them in lets you remember how much you paid. You only get the earbuds themselves, 2 additional set of tips of different sizes, and the standard paperwork. They are all plastic, and to be honest, it's a cheap, thin plastic, but it fits surprisingly well, so no cracking sound or squishy sounds when you handle them. The silicone buds on these are not as flexible as I expected, so they do not provide you with a very tight seal. I usually found that all the silicone tips that were provided with in-ear headphones were made from that very soft silicone, and when you took them out, you could experience a popping sound as the seal broken. But not with these. These just come off without any sensation. The cable is built from 2 round wires which are connected through the isolation, so it's not a flat tangle cable profile. Everything else about them is what you would typically expect. An L-shaped nickel-plated 3.5 audio jack. The drivers are made from 9mm neodymium magnets. The cable is 1.1 meters, so that's just above 3.5 feet. The impedance on these is 16 ohms, so you can pretty much power them from anything. The frequency response is from 10 to 24 kHz, and the maximum power capacity that these can handle is 200 mW. I know what you are thinking, these are all the bare minimums that you would expect by today's standards. But this is also the point where things get interesting with these earbuds, and that's thanks to the sound signature that these bad boys have. The bass is very well controlled and pleasantly tight, but you can notice that the amount of it drops significantly below 30 Hz, so the sub-bass suffers. It's hard to imagine, but the best way that I can explain it is that they have the classic type of bass. That is the bass that doesn't kick you with the rumble in your head when it hits. It is also a little bit dirty in the sense that it is spilled on other frequencies, but it doesn't overtake them. It is genuinely fun, and you can understand what the artist had in mind when recording the tracks. The mids are very settled. They are kinda laid back and retracted. They are not harsh by any means, so even if you listen to them for a very long period of time, they will not tire your ears. The instruments that you would expect to hear in this range are very well presented and separated. The highs are smooth and not too bright, so if you love some drum cymbals focus action, you might just fall in love with them. They are very distinguishable, and you won't experience the effect present on cheap A-phones where it's hard to tell the difference in sound between riddled cymbal from the crushed cymbal. They are very clear, and you can grow to appreciate it. The thing that you can keep in mind is that they respond to EQ very well in all frequencies. When adjusting the parameters of sound input from 20 to 200 Hz, the bass and the sub-bass became noticeably more powerful and full, to the point where they became to show the rumble effect that you would expect from 9mm drivers capable of handling 200 mW. Adjusting the mids resulted in more details being present in that range. But if you overdo it, they start to sound too controlled and didn't have that nice fulliness quality to them. The highs are probably the most susceptible to change. I found that a little bit of boost between 7 and 15 kHz made highs a lot more clear, brighter, but without introducing any piercing effect. When you are listening to them, you might find yourself thinking just how much of the sound is leaking. Now, please keep in mind that these are really lightweighted. They are weighing just 11 grams, so they are made from a real thin plastic, and there are not a lot of parts in there to dampen the sound on its way from the driver to the housing. As an effect, they are performing reasonably well until you reach mid volume levels, after which people around you will be able to hear what you are listening to. They do quite good job at passive noise isolation. You will be able to cut most of the environment sounds just by putting them on, and playing something at a very low volume level will block even more. You just have to keep in mind to try to use the right set of buds. Out of the box, the soundstage on this is quite small, but fortunately they do not place the music in the center of your head. It is very direct and near, but if you play a little bit with the equalizer and apply around 3 decibels of boost to all frequencies above 3 kHz, you will find that you can push them so that they start to present a beautiful distance between instruments and the stage opens up. Comfort is definitely where these shine. The fact that they are made from lightweight plastic sets their total weight at just above 11 grams, so that's 0.4 ounce. They are ergonomically shaped in a way that the tips are offset from the drivers and the sound chamber, and when you plug them in, it rests only on the outer part of your ear and do not need any other inventions for support like wings or things like that. You can forget that you have them in, but at the beginning you can feel that the plastic is a little bit harder than what you are used to. The driver housing is in the shape of a cone, so once in your ears, they do not look too intrusive if you look at the profiles. Their fit is also snug, so you will be pretty much unable to shake them out of your ears. I hope that you feel what I'm trying to say. The sound performance and the comfort are the strongest sides of these earphones. What about how are they holding up after 3 months? I have been using them as my daily drivers, and there is only one thing that came to bother me. The cable in the right earphone is making this unpleasant noise when moving the cable. It seems like its mounting point got broken or loose and it's touching the driver, the membrane or the housing, but they do not crackle or interrupt, so I think a little bit of glue will resolve the issue, as the cable itself doesn't seem to be damaged. Other than that, they are in perfect condition. All the video clips that you have seen during this review are of my 3-month-old earphones. I even noticed that they have a proper metal mesh as a separation between the ear canal and the drivers, where usually at this price point you can find a drilled plastic. So at the end of the day, if you are looking for affordable in-ear headphones that excel at sound quality and are amazingly comfortable, and you are able to put up with how they look, you might be looking at the greatest deal that you can make when it comes to bang for your buck for audio equipment.